Hey YouTube, it's Shelly with the Lemonade Store. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm starting off today's video with just some pictures that I've taken while I've been out hiking and walking, something I've been trying to do every day. And there's so many plants out there and things that are inspiring me to paint, except for that one. That's poison oak, so don't touch that one. But I found this eucalyptus branch and I liked it because of all the little seeds on it, and so I thought I would give it a go and try to paint it and just keep practicing our loose florals. So I'm using a size 16 brush, a round brush, and so I'm grabbing a couple different shades of green and I'm just kind of mixing them up for some variety. And I usually keep a little test strip of watercolor paper near me, and that's probably a good idea for you too. You could just kind of test it before you start painting. I'm using Arches watercolor paper, and these are a variety of either Winsor and Newton paint or Daniel Smith paints. And I'm just gonna start with the stem first and mixing up my colors. Since I'm practicing and learning, probably just like you are if you're watching this, you know, just have fun, don't stress over it. I mean, I totally am always pushing myself in different directions, and it doesn't always work out, but you learn something, and so there you go, it's awesome. So I'm mixing up a couple different shades first, and I, in the end, love just doing, dropping in different colors and stuff. So with the number 16 brush, it holds so much water that it doesn't dry right away. So you can always add more to your painting or drop things in, and I'll show you kind of what I do as I go along. But I'm going to start with my stem first, and really loosely. This is like, I think what's been helpful for me is I do a lot of artwork on my iPad using Procreate or in Adobe Illustrator, and it's very precise, I feel like, when I do it. So painting is a really great exercise for me to just let go and try not to make it perfect. And it's hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I will critique myself and be like, wow, what, the leaf doesn't go that way, what am I doing? But in the end, I always love the way it looks, and I love the way that the colors bleed into each other, and it's just magical, really it is. So give watercolor a try if you haven't. So I'm just gonna go through and paint a bunch of these leaves and kind of start doing some layering, and I wanted to incorporate some of those seed pods because I don't usually see those. I guess maybe they've always been there, but I think I see things more now that I paint. So isn't that interesting how that works? I have to remind myself to not be afraid of color and not trying to make it exactly like what I'm painting. So you'll see that I'm going to start grabbing some other colors because I want to just let the watercolor make its own magic. So that's something else I kind of want to like put out there for you, is that it doesn't have to be exactly like what you're painting. It can just be like the essence of it. And so I started using like the sap green, and then I dropped in some of that darker perylene green, is hope that's how you say it, just to give it some variety. And you know, I actually like the way that that looks a little bit better than the first petals that leaves that I was painting. All super pretty. I love all the colors, but I kind of like how it looks when I mixed them together like that on the paper. And there is something, that perylene green, that's the one I'm dropping in right now. It's such a pretty color. That's a Winsor and Newton color. And then this is the sap green, so I'm kind of going back and just mixing the two together and deepening them. And since the leaves are still wet, you can go back and add more as you go. And if it ever gets too dark, all you need to do is stick your brush in the water and then add it to the petal if you want to lighten it. And as far as like speed of painting goes, this is actually sped up to 2 times as fast as I normally paint. So just so you know, take your time. You don't have to try to be this fast. This is just the video so that it didn't end up being like a 20-minute video. Though I like showing you guys in real time, I don't know if you guys stick around for the whole video with that. So I added some water to make a lighter wash, and I wanted to just go in and add a couple of leaves to make it look like it's in the background a little bit more, and just because there's so many leaves on the branch, and having the different shades I think kind of gives that cool effect. So that was the final step on the painting, and then I started to see like I had a little bloom there, and since it was still a little bit damp, I just took my wet brush and got that line away. I like the one at the top though, so I left it. And then I have some gold that I bought that I wanted to try, and since some of these leaves are still wet, I just dropping in a little bit, just as if it's being like kissed by sunshine or something. It's just very subtle, and but that kind of led me to trying adding a little bit of my gold jelly roll pen and to do some of the veining. So I grabbed my green jelly roll pen and added some veining to some of the leaves. I didn't do all the leaves, and then kind of accentuated the little seed pods with it as well. I do also enjoy doodling over watercolor, so it doesn't have to be a black pen. If you want to try, like I'm using a jelly roll, you could use pencils, you could do anything you want to try to, you know, just give it some different dimension or a different look. So I kind of just wanted it to be a subtle gold accent to go with the gold paint that I had dropped in, and I think it turned out nice. I didn't worry about being precise. I just kind of went through and made them a little off center, and I think it turned out okay. So stay tuned. We're gonna do a couple of subscriber shout outs in just a second, and I'm excited. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I grabbed just a cheapy $5 palette that you can get. I think I got it at Michael's. You can get it on Amazon as well. And I drew the first name, which was Drew. And Drew, I just want to say thank you. You have been a long time supporter of this channel. So I know you're going to see this. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Drew. Hope you like your name. And all I'm doing is some watercolor lettering and letting it really just bleed into each other and make such a cool marbling effect. And the next name is going to be Kara. And also, guys, I wanted to show that you can letter with these inexpensive paints to practice, to kind of go with the watercolor lettering video that I made the other day, just so you could see you don't have to go out and spend a ton of money when you're first learning. Just have fun and use basic supplies. So Kara, thank you so much. And what I do like about these paints is that they have kind of a cool like chalky effect when they dry. So that's why you can see how the lighter blue shows up so well. And I loved the paint splatters, so I added some of those, and Kara's is all done. Thank you, Kara. And then for the next one, I picked Jordan, and I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm gonna first letter with a Crayola marker, and I'm still using watercolor paper, and then I'm going to go through and add the paint color to all of some of the downstrokes. I don't know if I do it on all of them, but first I added a little bit of water, and then I add the paint, and it also makes a cool, fun effect. It's a little bit harder to see on black, but I love the way that it looks. So you could do it with any color, and you could use any kind of marker as long as it's water-based. It will still give you a really cool way to blend. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a whole course on Skillshare that goes over different ways of how to blend with markers and pens. So I will link to that below as well, so you guys could give it a try. With my link below, you can have 2 months free, and you can cancel when you're all done if you don't like it, and that gives you access to everything on Skillshare. So if I lettered your name, please leave a comment below. If you would like for me to enter your name into the box, let me know. Leave a comment. And I hope you guys are doing awesome, and I will see you soon. Look how good that looks with when it dries. Thanks, you guys.